We're about moving things. We're about change. We're about progress. We're about succeeding. And that scares a black man.
Shalom, Israel. Officer OC.
Officer Mattathias.
Today we're going to go into order and discipline. Alright, so today's topic is the Most High is about order. Alright, give me 1 Corinthians 14 and 40. Because a lot of times when we come into this truth, a lot of people, you're still in a carnal mindset. You still look at each other as blacks, as niggas, as coons, and spicks. Alright, and you don't understand that the Most High God gave us, you so-called Negroes, blacks, and Hispanics, He gave us order. He gave us discipline. Alright, He gave us rank. He gave us all those things. And we're going to go into the Bible to show you that. Alright, read that, brother.
1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 40. Let all things be done decently and in order.
Some things.
All things be done decently and in order.
Alright, so all things are to be done decently in order. Alright, from the way you put on your garment. Alright, the way you choose a wife. Alright, the way we go to camp, the way we walk, the way we talk. Everything is to be done decently and in order. Alright, in order to have order, you must have respect. You must have discipline. Alright, you have to have guidelines. Luckily for us, we have a Bible full of those things. Alright, now give me 1 Corinthians 11 and 3. Let's get the most important order that the Most High established. Let's see what that is.
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
The head of what?
Of every man is Christ.
Alright, so the order is that Christ is your head. Read.
And the head of the woman is the man.
Alright, and the head of the woman is the man. That's right. There's an order to the household. Read.
And the head of Christ is God.
Alright, and that Christ's head is the Most High God. So we must understand that the family structure is the most important order that Christ, that Paul, and all the apostles set up. So that's the first thing we have to establish when you come into this truth, brothers and sisters. You have to acknowledge the order of the family, alright? And the man, you must take your rightful place and establish that order and set that order in place. Now, give me Romans 13 and 1. So now we established that we have order in the workplace, alright? I mean, not in the workplace, that we have order at home amongst the families. So now we got that. So when we go out to work, let's see, is there order when we go to work? Read that.
Romans chapter 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers.
Be what?
Subject unto the higher powers.
See that? There's an order when you go out amongst the society. Read.
For there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God.
The powers that be are what?
Are ordained of God.
So when you get pulled over by a police officer, be in order. When you get called into your boss's office, be in order. Read.
Whosoever therefore resisteth the power.
Resisteth the power. That's go against the order. Read.
Resisteth the ordinance of God.
You resisting God, brothers and sisters. Read.
And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation.
Read down to 3.
For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same.
You see that? When you're doing what's good, meaning keeping God's commandments, you will have praise. Alright, even at the job. Alright, so now we got order at the workplace, we got order at house. Now let's see if there's order amongst the body. Give me Hebrews 13 and 17. Let's get the order when you come into the body, alright, across different Israelite camps and especially amongst IUIC. Let's see what the order is, because a lot of times issues arise because people get out of order. Alright, for some reason we can follow order at school, we can follow order at the job, alright, and all these different aspects of life. But when you come into the truth, for some reason you have a problem with following another a man. Read that.
Hebrews chapter 13, verse 17. Obey them that have rule over you.
Do what?
Obey them that have rule over you.
Alright, all praise to the Most High that we have bishops that are on the cutting edge of things. Alright, we have order, and everybody understands the order. We have captains of 100. We have captains of 500. We have officers of 90. We have officers of 50. We have soldiers. We have brothers. We have members. Alright, there's order. And the Most High God says, obey them that have rule over you. Meaning, be in order, in line. If somebody gives you a task, you do it. Alright, read that again from the top.
Obey them that have the rule over you. and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls.
For they watch for your souls. Read.
As they that must give account, that they may do it with joy, and not with grief, for that is unprofitable for you.
Right. So when we are obeying the leadership, all right, that makes their job so much easier. When brothers and sisters just follow the order, the job is easy. Everything operates fine. All right. Now, let's see. Did our forefathers have order in the past, or did Paul create something new? Give me Exodus 18. Exodus 18 and verse 13, and we're going to read down to 26. Let's see, did our forefathers ever have order amongst themselves? Read that.
Exodus chapter 18 verse 13. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses sat to judge the people. And the people stood by Moses from the morning until the evening.
So people were standing next to Moses from morning to nighttime. Read.
And when Moses' father-in-law saw all that he did to the people, he said, what is this thing that thou doest to the people? Why sittest thou thyself alone, and all the people stand by thee from morning until evening? And Moses said unto his father-in-law, because the people come unto me to inquire of God. When they have a matter, they come unto me, and I judge between one and another, and I do make them know the statutes of God and his laws.
All right, so Moses was judging the people of God all by himself, but his father-in-law is about to give him some wise counsel. Now let's see that Moses accept the counsel. We'll keep reading, brother.
And Moses' father-in-law said unto him, the thing that thou doest is not good. Thou wilt surely wear away.
So he said the thing that you're doing is not good. He's saying right now, Moses, you don't have any order. You don't have any order amongst these people. You're trying to do everything by yourself. That's not the way Israel and the Most High God operates. Read.
But, I'm sorry, both thou and this people that is with thee, for this thing is too heavy for thee.
Is what?
Too heavy for thee.
You see that? That's why the Most High said we have to establish order. Because he understands that we are the number of the sand of the sea. So that's why he creates a body, so we can help one another. Read.
For this thing is too heavy for thee. Thou art not able to perform it thyself alone. Hearken now unto my voice. I will give thee counsel, and God shall be with thee.
He gonna give them what?
I will give thee counsel.
You see that, brothers and sisters? Moses received counsel. Read.
I will give thee counsel, and God shall be with thee. Be thou for the people to God word, that thou mayest bring the causes unto God. And thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws, and shalt show them the way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do. Moreover, thou shalt provide out all the people men such as fear God, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place such over them to be rulers of thousands and rulers of hundreds.
You see that? Rulers of thousands and rulers of 100. What's that today? That's how we have our officers, our captains. Read.
Rulers of 50s and rulers of 10s. And let them judge the people at all seasons. And it shall be that every great matter they shall bring unto thee, but every small matter they shall judge. So shall it be easier for thyself, and they shall bear the burden with thee. If thou shalt do this thing, and God command thee, so then thou shalt be able to endure. And all this people shall also go their place in peace.
So you see this, brothers and sisters? Moses is being shown right now that he's lacking order. But the Most High always sends brothers and sisters to establish the order amongst the body. Alright, read.
Verse 24. So Moses hearkened.
He did what?
Hearken.
Brothers, you have to understand who Moses was. Moses just led the children of Israel out of Egypt. But he understood that, you know what? I'm lacking order. So what did he do? He obeyed the rule of them that had the rule over him. He obeyed them. Read.
To the voice of his father-in-law. And did all that he had said.
And did what?
And did all that he had said.
Read.
And Moses chose able men out of all Israel, and made them heads over the people, rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of 50s, and rulers of 10s. And they judged the people at all seasons. The hard causes they brought unto Moses, but every small matter they judged themselves.
All right, so that's an example of one of our forefathers, one of our greatest forefathers, obeying them that had to rule over him. He had to understand, he had to humble down and understand that he didn't have the order that the Most High wanted. But because he took the counsel, he was able to establish order. All right, now go to Deuteronomy 1 and 15. Deuteronomy 1 and 15, verse 16. So let's see who are supposed to be in these leadership roles. Because like I told you, the Most High is a God of order. Do you just choose anybody to be in a position of leadership? Read that.
So I took the chief of your tribes, wise men and known, and made them heads over you, captains over thousands, and captains over hundreds, and captains over 50s, and captains over 10s, and officers among your tribes. Verse 16. And I charged your judges at that time, saying, hear the causes between your brethren, and judge righteously between every man.
And judge righteously between every man. But you have to understand that anybody is not going to be in that position of leadership. So you have to trust that judgment that, guess what, that a wise man is over you. Read.
Judge righteously between every man and his brother, and the stranger that is with them. Ye shall not respect persons.
Right. Now, from there, go to 1 Timothy 3. 1 Timothy 3. All right, so we understood that from the beginning, the Most High always said choose wise men, chief men, people that understand the job that they're doing. That's the order that he set forth. Go to 1 Timothy 3, read that.
1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. This is a true saying. If a man desire the office of a bishop, he desireth a good work.
All right, so in Exodus, it was called captains. It was called officers. Now, it's a role of a bishop, a leader in the church. Read.
A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife, vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality, apt to teach.
So now we're getting even more descriptions of what you must measure up to for you to be in a position of leadership. The order that the Most High God gave us. Read.
Not given to wine, no striker, not greedy of filthy lucre, but patient, not a brawler, not covetous, one that ruleth well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity.
So you must be able to rule your own house. Read.
For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of God?
So these are more qualifications that we must reach. This is the order that the Most High God set forth. He said, if you can't rule your house, you can't rule my church. Now, let's see some other order that's being implemented in the scriptures. Give me 2 Samuel 18 and 1. Let's see. So after Moses came out of Egypt, he got us in order in the wilderness. Let's see. When the kings came up, did they say, all right, that was good for them, but now we're going to do what we want to do. Let's see that we follow suit. 2 Samuel 18 and 1. Read that.
2 Samuel chapter 18 verse 1. And David numbered the people.
And David did what?
Numbered the people.
Read.
That were with him. And set captains.
And set what?
Captains of thousands and captains of hundreds over them.
You see this, brothers and sisters? King David followed the same order that Moses set forth in Exodus. We always had order. We always had people over us. Why is that a problem when you come into the truth? That now you come into the truth, you think, oh, ain't nobody need to be over me. I can do my own thing. No, brothers and sisters. That's not how we roll. That's not how our forefathers rolled. Give me Joshua 3 and 7. Let's see. Did Joshua follow the order that was set forth by Moses? Alright? Because when you read this Bible, you'll find out that we always have spiritual fathers and leaders. Alright, read that.
Joshua chapter 3 verse 7. And the Lord said unto Joshua, this day will I begin to magnify thee in the sight of all Israel.
He would do what?
Magnify thee in the sight of all Israel.
Read.
That they may know that as I was with Moses, so I be with thee.
You see that? The Most High always set up order. He always set up rank and discipline. So everybody knew that the Most High was dealing with Joshua just like they knew the Most High was dealing with Moses. So why would that change today in 2015? Why is it when somebody says that I'm this, I'm that we have a problem with it? No, obey those that have the rule over you. All right, now go to Joshua 4 and 14. Let's see. So now we see who the leaders were. Let's see how the congregation was. Read that.
Joshua chapter 4, verse 14. On that day, the Lord magnified Joshua in the sight of all Israel, and they feared him.
And they did what?
They feared him.
They feared him, meaning they had respect. Read.
As they feared Moses all the days of his life.
You see that? So our forefathers, those that weren't in the leadership role, they respected the order. There's always been an order. Go to Sirach 7 and 29. Because there's always been an order amongst our people. You must realize who the Most High is dealing with, and guess what? You fall in line. That's the same thing going on today, brothers and sisters. Read that.
Sirach chapter 7, verse 29. Fear the Lord.
Fear the Lord.
With all thy soul. And reverence his priests.
And do what?
Reverence his priests.
You see that? By you fearing the Lord, when you see a man of God, how can you judge a man of God if he's keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments? So when you see that, guess what? You reverence him. Because by you showing respect to him, guess who you respect? The Most High. Because nobody gets knowledge by themselves. For somebody to go through the scriptures and show you what's right and what's wrong, guess what? The Most High is dealing with them. Alright, now go to 1 John 4 and 20. Because I'm going to make it more simpler for you. Because a lot of people you might not understand that statement. By you respecting a man that's keeping God's laws, you are respecting the Most High. That's why he put that scripture in that order. He said, fear the Lord and show reverence to his priests. Now read that, 1 John 4 and 20.
1 John chapter 4, verse 20. If a man say, I love God, and hate his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother, whom he hath seen, how can he love God, whom he hath not seen?
Right. That's why the Most High said, fear him and reverence his priests. It's the same thing in the scripture. If you don't show respect for your elders, your bishops, your captains on earth, the people that you deal with on a daily basis, what are you going to do when Christ returns? You're going to treat him just like another Negro, like another spick. That's why he says, fear God and reverence his priests. Now, go to Wisdom of Solomon 8 and 14. Let's see. Because I told you the Most High is about order. And guess what? He's establishing that order on earth right now as we speak. And it's either you're going to fall in line or you're going to get pushed out. Read that.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 8 verse 14. I shall set the people in order, and the nations shall be subject unto me. You
see that? The Most High said he's going to set the people in order. In order. Now go to Psalms 50 and 21. Let's see. Let's see what that order is. He said he's going to set us in order. Because right now we're not in order, brothers and sisters. Our women wear whatever they want. Our men aren't ruling their household. It's out of order. Read that.
Psalms chapter 50 verse 21. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such in one as thyself. But I will reprove thee.
God says he will reprove us. He will correct us. Read.
And set them in order before thine eyes.
He's going to reprove us and set us in order, brothers and sisters. So guess what? And when you know that you're really dealing on a high level, guess what you will have? You will have order. You will have discipline. You will have rank. You will have an army. That's what we're building here at IUIC. All right. Now we're going to look at some other places where our forefathers had order. All right. Give me that. 1 Kings 10.
1 Kings chapter 10 verse 1. And when the queen of Sheba heard of the fame of Solomon concerning the name of the Lord, she came to prove him with hard questions.
Right. So Queen Sheba, she knew that King Solomon was a wise man. So she came to ask him questions. Read.
And she came to Jerusalem with a very great train, with camels that bear spices, and very much gold and precious stones. And when she was come to Solomon, she communed with him of all that was in her heart.
So she opened up to Solomon about everything. Read.
And Solomon told her all her questions. There was not anything hid from the king which he told her not.
So he answered each and every one of her questions. Read.
And when the queen of Sheba had seen all Solomon's wisdom, and the house that he had built, and the meat of his table.
All right. Now we're finna go into the order that Solomon had. Watch this, brothers and sisters. Read.
And the meat of his table, and the sitting of his servants.
The sitting of his servants. Read.
And the attendance of his ministers.
And the attendance of his ministers, his servants. Read.
And their apparel.
And their apparel, they were dressed a certain way. He had order. Read.
And his cupbearers, and his accent by which he went up unto the house of the Lord, there was no more spirit in her.
You see that? There was no more spirit in her. Why? The order of Solomon's kingdom was so beautiful that she passed out. She never seen nothing like that. And that's from our forefathers. Alright? Now, go to 2 Samuel 13 and 18. Let's look at some other examples of our people having order. Because today, you Negroes and Hispanics, we resist order. But we got to understand that's who we are. That's what we come from. Read that.
2 Samuel chapter 13 verse 18. And she had a garment of divers colors upon her. For with such robes were the king's daughters that were virgins apparelled. Then his servant brought her out and bolted the door after her.
You see that? Read that again. Read that again.
And she had a garment of divers colors upon her.
So she had a garment of diverse colors upon her. Now we're going to explain why did she have a garment with diverse colors. Read.
For with such robes were the king's daughters.
The king's daughters were, they wore certain apparel. There was an order that was set forth. Read.
King's daughters that were virgins apparel. Then his servant brought her out and bolted the door after her.
Alright, now let's go to 1 Ezra chapter 6. 1 Ezra chapter 1 and verse 6. So we saw that they had order. Even the apparel that our forefathers and our foremothers wore, it was planned, and they dressed accordingly to the order that was set forth. Read this.
1 Ezra 1, 6.
Yep, 1 Ezra chapter 1 verse 6. And we're going to read down to 10.
1 Ezra chapter 1 verse 6. Offer the Passover in order.
Offer the Passover what?
In order.
Read.
And make ready the sacrifices for your brethren. And keep the Passover according to the commandment of the Lord, which was given unto Moses.
Read.
And unto the people that was found there, Josiah gave 30,000 lambs and kids and 3,000 calves. These things were given of the king's allowance, according as he promised, to the people, to the priest, and to the Levites.
So what we're reading about was one of the, when you read, it says that this Passover, it was one of the most beautiful Passovers that we ever had. And we're going to read about the order. Keep reading.
And Hilkias, Zacharias, and Silas, the governors of the temple, gave to the priests for the Passover 2,600 sheep and 300 calves. And Jasonius and Samias and Nathaniel his brother, and Asabias and Oshiel and Joram, captains over thousands, gave to the Levites for the Passover 5,000 sheep and 700 calves.
Alright, so we dealing on a large scale right here. We just had, we had 18 calves at the Passover we just had, right? So we're reading about thousands of calves. Alright, read.
And when these things were done,
so when they got done doing this, read.
The priests and Levites, having the unleavened bread, stood in very calmly, order according to the kindred.
They stood in a very calmly, brothers and sisters, calmly order according to the kindreds. Calmly means beautiful. The order that they had was beautiful. It's just like when brothers and sisters see us at camp. When they see us doing our formations, they say, man, that looks beautiful. Because there's something special about order and discipline. That's beautiful to our eyes. Now, let's go to Deuteronomy 22 and 5. Let's get some other places that the Most High established order. Because our people lack that today.
Deuteronomy chapter 22 verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
So now we're getting order on our clothing. It says a woman should not wear that which pertaineth unto a man. Read.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
You see that? There's an order in our clothing, brothers and sisters. Women can't wear pants. Men can't wear dresses or skirts. Now, from there, let's go to 1 Timothy 2 and 9. And let's get a little bit more detailed on that order of our clothing.
1 Timothy chapter 2 verse 9. In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety.
So it's an order that that our women adorn themselves in modest apparel. Same thing for men. We don't walk around with our chest out, your chest hairs all over the place. No, we are to dress modest. That's the order that the Most High set forth. From there, go to 2 Samuel. 2 Samuel chapter 1 and 24. Let's see where our forefathers and foremothers dressed a certain way. Or was this something new that Paul thought of? Did Paul was the first person to care about how a woman dressed? Let's see.
2 Samuel chapter 1 verse 24. Ye daughters of Israel, weep over Saul, who clothed you.
Who did what?
Who clothed you in scarlet with other delights, who put on ornaments of gold upon your apparel.
You see that? King Saul dressed our woman. It's the same thing. So when the bishops and the deacons, we're doing that today, that's the order that's been set forth from way, way back in the day, brothers and sisters. But you don't read. That's why you must apply Romans 15 and 4. The things written aforetime were written for our learning. Alright? From there, let's go to 1 Corinthians 12.
Corinthians chapter 12 verse 4. Now there are diversities of gifts with the same Spirit, and there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord. And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same God which worketh all in all.
Right. So there's an order. Everybody's doing something different, but guess what? There is order. Read.
But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal. For to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge by the same Spirit, to another faith by the same Spirit, to another the gifts of healing by the same Spirit,
Read.
to another the working of miracles, to another to another prophesy, to another discerning of spirits, to another diverse kinds of tongues, to another the interpretation of tongues.
So what we're reading is all these different talents that are given amongst the body. Some brothers are going to be good in some things, some brothers are going to be good in other things. But there is a order. Read.
But all these worketh that one and the selfsame Spirit, dividing to every man severally as he will. For as the body is one, and hath many members, and all the members of that one body, being many, are one body.
So us being many, we are one body. How do we get everybody in that one body, brothers and sisters? By establishing order and rank and discipline. When all of us fall in line with these laws, statutes, and commandments, that is the order that the Most High wants. Alright, now go to Titus 1 and 5. Alright, we're about to end it. I just wanted to show y'all this class is very important to our people, because we must understand how the Most High deals. He wants us in order. Read that.
Titus chapter 1 verse 5. For this cause left I thee in Crete, that thou shouldest set in order.
That thou shouldest what?
Set in order the things that are wanting.
The things that are wanting. He says you must set in order the things that are wanting. Read.
And ordained elders in every city.
And ordained elders in every city. Why would you have to ordain an elder in every city? Because he knows how to establish that order, that rank, that discipline. How to put everybody in a certain place. Read.
As I appointed thee.
So from there, let's go to 1 Samuel 2 and 3. Alright, so it's one thing to listen to these words. It's another thing to apply it. So now, maybe you might not look at leadership, at order in the same light. You might say, well, dang, I've been treating this brother the wrong way. I need to respect the fact that he's over me. Or that this sister has been in this truth for a long time, and I need to take heed to the things that she advises me on. You brothers and sisters, but us thinking about that is one thing. Alright, the Most High way is another thing. Read that.
1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 3. Talk no more so exceeding proudly.
So don't talk about what you are going to do. Read.
Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth. For the Lord is a God of knowledge. And by him actions are weighed.
By him actions are weighed. So the next time the leading officer, the leading captain, the next time he tell you to do something, are you going to second guess it, or are you going to do it? When the sister's in the kitchen and the sister's setting everything in order, are you going to listen, or are you going to disobey the order? All right, that's something for you brothers and sisters to think about. All right, with that, we say shalom.
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.